Hello and welcome to another Block Chat. Um, this episode is going to be again one of those special ones. Why? Because I'm here to introduce you to an amazing entrepreneur in the real estate field, who's based out of Florida, US. Today with me it's the CEO and founder of Vera Group, which is the next project on the launchpad. Nick Polyushkin is here with us today. Hi, Nick. How are you?
Dan, hi, good. How are you?
Great to have you here. We've been discussing about bringing Vera Group on the launchpad for a bit of time now, right?
Yeah,
When was the first time you stepped into contact with our team? Do you remember?
I think first time when I contacted your team was back in September, October, and because I saw your video actually on YouTube, and I decided I was researching the RW, real world assets class and how to move forward into that direction, and by the good chance I found you. So I'm very happy about that. And since October, yeah, we started the discussion and finally we're here. And this is a big step for us.
This is it's amazing. I'll tell you a couple of things why this is amazing, in my view. First of all, Vera Group has been around for quite a bit of time. I think it was founded in 2012, right?
Yep, 2012 started and founded and registered the company and start grinding and working hard every day, building it, step by step to company by company, brick by
Company
brick.
by company. Second
Yep.
part is that Vera Group uh, owns uh, multiple companies that are all kind of built around real estate.
Mhm.
Um, can you tell me a bit more about Vera Group and the
Sure.
companies it owns?
Sure. So Vera Group, group of companies, and it has few entities within it. So first one is Vera Realty, and it was the first company which was started in part of a Vera Group. It's a fully licensed brokerage firm, and we are licensed in 7 states. I have 7 licenses in Florida, Georgia, Illinois, and 4 other states. And right now, Vera Realty has more than 100 agents within it, and we are partners of Zillow. We represent them in most of the zip codes around our offices. Vera Realty was the first company which kind of was building foundation. And through Vera Realty, I learned myself a lot about Florida real estate market and US market, and it opened up the doors to other companies such as Verifund. So Verifund is a private investment vehicle and a company with which we acquire the commercial real estate. It's retail plazas, office buildings, and we also do development projects. With Verifund, we have more than 10 employees working in it with big experience, and each company also has a vice president. And Verifund right now has more than $100 million worth of properties under management, plus about $20 million worth of development projects, and it's multi-family rental complexes here in South Florida, in Aventura and Brickell. Next company within Vera Group portfolio of companies is Vera Manage. So management is essential for real estate, and I learned that from the beginning when I just started acquiring residential and commercial real estate. If you manage your properties well, you keep them in good shape, clean, then tenants will come to you and pay rent on time. So in Vera Manage, it's our management company, which has more than 20 employees locally here in Florida, with technicians, with upkeep personnel, and we manage our own commercial properties and also portfolio of residential properties. Um, Vera Finder is the tool which is a part of Vera Group, which helps investors to find investment property. We can filter through all the market in a matter of seconds and find a property with a certain cap rate which you are looking for. Poly Studio is our internal support as far as technology, websites, upkeep, etc. And Polius Consulting is the company which does all bookkeeping, all tax preparation, because this is a very vital part of the business in the US and in Florida. And because if you optimize the tax as well, and in real estate, you have depreciations, you have a lot of tax tools which have to be used in order to increase the profits of real estate assets as well. And there are programs such as 1031 exchange where you can reinvest in a matter of 6 months and you don't have capital gain. So we built the infrastructure within Vera Group, which helps to acquire, to manage, to sell, to develop. And with Blocksquare now and Dennis' help, we're looking to tokenize the real estate. So that's going to be our tool, which is very needed right now and which we want to implement with the help of Blocksquare and Oceanpoint.
Amazing, Nick. Thanks for the whole overview. Every time I hear about Vera Group and all the aspects you've been covering, um, uh, you've done an amazing job, and at your age as well. So this is point number three. Before we go on why tokenizing real estate, I talk with a lot of people in the real estate, let's say, business, and it's people that come from different ages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's always hard to find a young entrepreneur that has already been successful in real estate, and you're exactly that. You're a younger entrepreneur that has been able to build a remarkable venture on US in the US market, and is also future oriented, looking into tokenization. So when we had our first meeting, I was immediately sold. I just wanted to see if this is something real that you actually want to do or not. And we're here today because obviously your intentions are concrete, and not just concrete, but very, very ambitious. Um, can you tell me first why real estate tokenization? What do you see? Why this fits so well within today and tomorrow?
Yes, definitely. Very good question. And again, thank you for kind words about the young age and entrepreneurship. But in business in the US, especially, it's all about the reputation. And if I promise something, if I say I want to do that, and we delivering that. It's not just words somewhere into the thing, because time is of the essence for us, and we try to direct our time towards the right things, work with right partners. And to your question about tokenization, real estate, especially commercial, it's lacking one thing, which is liquidity. And I see a lot of deals in commercial real estate and in commercial real estate market, and also in residential but larger assets, right? Where sometimes people want to get liquidity from the property, but the process is very tough. It's very it's very complex. And for if you're in the industry, you understand that process. You can go through it easily, etc. But for example, my generation, younger generation, they're not ready to go through the whole thing, like, for example, buy a large commercial building. It involves not just a lot of capital, a lot of knowledge, but you need to know the right people too. You need to know banks, you need to know the title companies, appraisers, and you need to know how it works. And in order to get to that, you need to spend about 15 years of time. That's what I did. I just started young. And but again, the U.S. market is huge, and right now, especially what is happening with the real world assets, with crypto markets, it's now becoming more and more user friendly. And in real estate, when you think about ownership, some people, they don't want to just buy more residential real estate. They already bought a house, they live in it, they're looking at the market, and they just cannot find something which generates enough of rental income, for example, and it's not matching with the if they want to finance it. But they have, for example, 50 to 100 to $1 million which they want to invest, but they cannot afford to buy commercial real estate by themselves. They need to either more capital, and by tokenizing real estate, we opening up the doors and inviting investors and clients to commercial real estate in the U.S., which is harder to get into, and we want to show this market, show the benefits of it, because commercial real estate is different from residential, different management, different returns, and we always look at commercial real estate from we try to not just buy an assets which have cash flow, but we're also looking at potential of this commercial real estate as far as zoning, development potential, and exit strategy. So to summarize, tokenization is going to be vital for commercial real estate in the future, because future generations, they, in my opinion, they will not be ready to buy huge office buildings and multi-families, office parks, etc. So, and that's why I believe that by tokenizing real estate, we first of all are solving, the need of our customers. Number one, because our customers is still the priority, and I have a lot of business partners who are interested in investing through tokenization too. They don't want to go through traditional steps of investing, and we're solving basically the market need. And I'm great that we, start partnering together with Blocksquare and Oceanpoint and Dennis to do that. That's my view, and I think that RWA market will only be growing, and it's going to be exponential in next 10, 15, 20 years.
So the time to start building a tokenization arm to Vera Group is now, right?
Exactly. Right now.
Because right now things are changing. They're changing on a global level and as well on a local level. You're feeling that there's a shift in how people would like to invest, in how people would like to own. In the digital process is something that people want because they have it all around them. And then when it comes to real estate, they go, it seems like it goes like 20 years back, right? Because the whole process is so old, let's say, and investing in real estate should be much easier than that process. Now, I said ambitious because looking at the KPIs, the idea that you guys have, we're talking about tokenizing or bringing, we're talking about a 1 billion deal, right? Now, can you tell me more about it?
So yes, in exactly how we come up with this number is because we looking at our projects which are in the pipeline for development, for example, and if we decide, for example, to raise funds and build all of our projects, that's going to be more than $1 billion. Real estate business is more capital intensive than, let's say, other businesses around, and we will start of course with existing buildings and commercial real estate which we will be tokenizing, but eventually we will and again, it's not long time frame. We're completing our 2 multifamily projects right now, and we're looking already for the next projects to build 132 unit project. The next one will be 250 unit project, and just one project of 132 units will cost about 70 to 90 million dollars to build. Again, and 250 unit project will cost more than $100 million. That's why this is ambitious numbers. If you're looking at this from perspective of like residential real estate investments, but from commercial standpoint, this is very realistic number, and not just achievable, it's overachievable. Because if we will uh, have success right now with existing assets, then we will start raising into our development projects. And we will be doing that simultaneously because some investors, they interested in specifically developing something new, creating the real estate, not just buying, holding, getting permits and reselling, for example. And again, this number is based on our existing projects. If we decide to build them all, we need around $1 billion. That's very realistic, and again, we will be committing our own funds to the project. And again, the target is more than $1 billion because it's going to be not only development projects but also existing commercial assets. And right now is the time when the acquisition of commercial real estate, if you buy them in next year while the interest rate's still high, when the interest rates drop, then it's going to be a good time to exit, and that's going to be the most profits. So that's why it's the market is very cyclical, and we need to be and catch the cycles in the right time as far as development, for example, and acquisition. Existing assets, the stabilized assets, which we want to start with tokenization. It can be tokenized anytime because they have a stable revenue stream and exit strategy.
Amazing. I I believe I mean, when I listen to you, when I first heard of the 1 billion target, I it seemed, you know, it's a big number. It's definitely a
Mm-hmm.
big number. But when I started listening to you, and how you explain it is business as usual. You're just adding tokenization to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's brilliant because it's coming from somebody who has knowledge in the market, who's done things and built things before, and you've done deals before in a traditional sense, and probably you're going to be doing the same deals with the same people, just in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe initially you're going to split it into traditional and tokenized, or maybe a hybrid between those two,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm sure that investors you work with will be opting more and more into tokenization because it's just, it's just easier
Easier, yeah,
at the end of the day.
quicker.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of regulation in the US, that's a question that obviously always comes to mind. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what is the situation currently in the US? What do you see? Are there any changes happening today that maybe a year ago, the market was different? Well, I don't know. I'm just asking here because we all follow kind of, the changes since Trump got elected and so forth, and this obviously influences a bit on the perspective of crypto in the US. But
Mm-hmm.
what about real world assets tokenization, and specifically real estate tokenization?
Mm-hmm. Yes, since Trump got elected, I mean, obviously we saw what was happening with the crypto markets, but just in the last week, the Bitcoin reserve was signed, right? They had a big meeting on Friday. Yeah, they had a lot of hype about it and promises. Again, they they discussed a lot of things probably without cameras. And but again, if you hear it from the new government, that you know the reserve is like it's signed, the order is signed there. So that's a big step. Then about stable coins. Soon, I think the whole banking system will be connected to stable coin. Stable coins. It will be much more easier to just buy directly from your bank account. You buy stable coins and go to marketplace, then you invest. Imagine that. Uh, that's a matter of not screw this moment, because we need to offer clients something to not just where they can get promised like to 100x their capital, but then they get burned and then they will never get back to this market. We need to in the right time offer them uh, you know tokenization of real asset where they will get uh, real income back and it's going to be stable. Yes, they can play with other coins, but again, these coins will be undermined by real asset. And RWA, in my opinion, again, there are few big companies right now which are on the market already in the US as far as commercial real estate. They're very successful. They raised not $1 billion, they raised more than $50 billion already into their commercial entities. And again, they're doing a hybrid right now, but eventually it will be solely tokenization, I think. And the environment changed tremendously during last half year in terms of crypto acceptance and the view of the public. I mean, imagine the U.S. government signed strategic reserve of Bitcoin. Like a year ago, this was unheard of. SEC dropped a lot of cases. Uh, uh, Everybody wants the crypto tokens come to US and be incorporated here. So during next 4 years, while Trump is in place, I think he will build the foundation, and it will stay there forever. Because during next 4 years, a lot of people will invest in RWA, and there will no be way back. Basically, that's my opinion. And I mean, for me, it will be much more easier to invest. For example, I'm looking at properties in California, but I don't have the ecosystem, or I'm looking at Texas actively, but I don't have a ecosystem over there. I don't have property management company. I don't have just people on the ground to run it for me. I rather invest through tokens and buy part of asset with somebody who experienced on the ground over there and will make profits. For my investment. Same, it's not just Vera Group, which I think going to be starting that process. I hope that more and more real estate companies will see the future and then start implementation right now. Uh, because again, if they're not gonna do that, they're gonna be out of the game at some point.
So a lot of things happening in the US. This is coming at the right time in the market. Vera Group stepping in into real estate tokenization. Um, Soon we will have for our community, um, you will be able to be part of Vera Group's success by doing your pledge to their Launchpad campaign. Um, we were discussing with Nick, should we do it through the Launchpad or not? You remember? I
Mm-hmm.
said, let's do it through the Launchpad. I would suggest you do it through the Launchpad. The main reason for it is because you will get support from our community of PST holders as well. People that maybe come more from the crypto side, but are following different channels and might be there to support you on the long term, um, uh, given the ambition of the project, right? So next week, we will have the Launchpad campaign start. The final dates will be announced soon. And then we are off to the races to raise 100,000 stake BST. One interesting part is as well your collateral commitment. Um, uh, an ambitious project requires ambitious collateral. And so here we had the amount of 20,000 stake BST, right? But I think, Nick, you pledged more.
Yeah, I pledged more. I pledged 27,000. And again, I believe in Blocksquare, I believe in Oceanpoint, and I believe in your team too, and I'm wishing you to grow. That's why I'm pledged the amount which I wanted to. I will pledge more, and I looked at other projects too, and I mean, I think that's amazing opportunity for the community to support the projects like this, especially right now with everything happening in the US. It's going to be tremendous opportunity for all of us.
Another thing, giving out a bit of alpha on what we've been doing at Blocksquare. Once we knew that Nick and Vera Group are on board, we immediately went ahead and kind of started the pre-research required for understanding the notarized tokenization model working in the US. We started by researching three target states: Florida, of course, California. They said it's the toughest, so we wanted to learn about that part, and
Mm-hmm.
Nevada as well. So this is kind of an initial understanding for us to see if the framework we have from Luxembourg will also be applicable to the US and what
Mm-hmm.
will be required to work from there.
Mm-hmm.
There's always the option, obviously, of launching tokens directly without the Luxembourg entity getting involved, but just having it there, it's an additional convenience for a marketplace based out of the US, like Vera Group. Um,
Yep.
the marketplace, Vera Group is the group, the marketplace brand, Nick Vera
Capital.
Capital, right?
Yes.
Vera
It's going
Capital.
to be Vera
Yes.
Capital.io. So that's where the marketplace will be located. And we already allocated the first project, which we will be offering for tokenization. And I can tell more about that if it's yeah. So it's a building, commercial building, 20,000 square feet. So it's about 2,000 square meters, 3 stories. It's currently have stable income, 5% annual return, and the beauty of the location that it's about 10 minutes away from the ocean, and it's in the area where it's surrounded by new projects. So just next door, their new building is built. It's 250 units, residential complex. 2 minutes walk down the street, there's a new construction too coming up. It's going to be 150 residential units. And on the parcel where the building is located, there is enough land. So it's total of 1 acre or about 0.43 hectares. You can add a new building, or a future developer want to buy an asset and redevelop completely, it can be redeveloped into 82 multi-family unit residential complex. And so this is the first project which we'll be offering for tokenization. It has stable stream of income, stabilized. We increasing rents because rents are still on the market, and we working on the development project. So it has about 2 year time frame for the exit potential, where we can resell the building and get the profits to our investors. And the next step, we can reinvest through 1031 into other building, and you don't have this capital gain tax thing. So this is big incentive. And again, building is stabilized. It's beautiful location, Auckland Park Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, and the location is booming. It's growing with new development, and we have two more buildings on the same street. So we're working on the development projects of it as well. Yep.
I think it's the value, maybe just to highlight this to our community, people in Web3, they live off of access, right? It's accessible to invest in any type of token or in any type of asset, basically.
Mhm.
Everything is permissionless, more or less, right?
Yep.
So everything is up for grabs, or you can actually get it. But getting access in real estate, that's really hard, right? And here
Mhm.
we're not just talking about accessing real estate as an investment, but actually securing a deal, being able to get that development underway, getting the permits, getting everything in order so that you can actually bring value or make value or create value on the market, right? And that's really hard. And when it comes to saying, well, we have a pipeline of deals worth 1 billion,
Mhm.
it's not just about saying you have a pipeline of deals worth 1 billion from other companies that create real estate. No, it's a pipeline of deals that you have as Vera Group.
Yep.
And I
Which
think
we
that's really
have. Mhm.
exactly that's the main difference, because I see a lot of RWA tokenization platforms, marketplaces, they focus on the tech and they have these MOUs with various funds with real estate,
Mhm,
funds, etc. And that supply is supposedly there, but maybe it's not. If you
mhm,
control that supply, it's
mhm,
definitely there. So the
mhm,
only question then is how do you come and convince the demand side
mhm,
that this is the preferred way of making an investment?
mhm. Yeah, I mean, basically, again, as you said, all our assets are already part of the group. So a Vera fund, with a Vera fund, they already been purchased and they are owned by us, managed by us, and we only improving them. And in the US, as you said, the permitting takes a lot of time, and it can take about 2 years for commercial real estate. But during these 2 years, you open up the potential of the undervalued like land, and when you open it up, then basically you created a lot of value. Sometimes you double the value, sometimes you triple the value, and it all depends on the what you can build over there. And we're not necessarily building all of our projects. Some have the strategy of selling it, for example, but some of our entities, yes, some of our assets, for example, we right now in planning phase of beautiful project, 97 units, and the construction budget over there will be about $200 million. And it's for sale project, so there is a different model. It's not a rental complex. So that's why in the when you acquire such properties, sometimes they're on the market, sometimes they're off market. So we have a whole team who just looking for these opportunities. For example, 2 weeks ago we bought a building. It was purchased for $5.1 million. It has 2 acres of land, additional 2 acres. Following week, I made two calls. We already have an offer for this 2 acres for about $5 million, but it will take about 1.5 to 2 years to close this deal because we will be getting permits. That's how you build value in the US. And I learned that just by heart by doing my own deals. I used to buy when they were available still like multifamilies, very small one level, convince the sellers that I will keep the tenants, I'll improve the property, and I did that. We when we buy commercial buildings, it's very important that I meet with the prior owners, and that's what takes a lot of my time to basically tell them that our group, we will not just buy and renovate the whole thing, knock down the building. No, we're buying it with current businesses, we're tailoring towards local entrepreneurs, small businesses, small practices, because our building, sometimes one building has like 70 tenants, 70 small tenants, and owners sometimes worried that yeah, the corporation will buy them and then get rid of all the tenants, and they will be treated in the community differently because some owners they live in these communities. So that's why for us it's important. It's a lot of about also not just building tokenization, but behind it, it's a lot of real businesses, real entrepreneurs whom we also helping through acquiring these buildings, improving them, and even if we starting the new project next door to this building, I mean everybody eventually appreciating that because it's increasing the value of where they working at. We improving the locations. We have a division where we working with affordable housing developers too. And in Florida there is a lack of affordable housing. You cannot, like, one bedroom apartment will cost you 3 to 4 thousand a month, not in the best location, and it's going to be about 50 meters. So imagine, and but the salaries are not growing at this pace. So we want to, by expanding our portfolio with tokenization too. It's not the main goal is not just to grow and to have a lot of buildings, also to improve the communities, help local entrepreneurs, and deliver good projects to local community. And it's win-win for everybody, for investors, for a Vera Group, and for each shareholders and partners, and for the end users. In our case, end users are tenants and buyers of real estate. That's that's the the vision behind the whole thing. And again, before, when we just were starting acquiring commercial real estate, we had no name, and it was very tough. But eventually, yeah, we build our reputation through the brokerage firm. We have Zillow is a huge marketplace for residential real estate, and it, 2 weeks ago, we were working towards it for about 5 years. We have best ratings on Zillow. It's 195-star reviews. We sold more than 500 residential properties with the Zillow during last 3 years. Again, the Vera Realty by itself did more than 500 million in terms of sales in the last 3 years. And it's very hard to keep up the good reputation with that amount of sales, because every buyer in residential is different. But again, we look at our customers, if they investors, if they are tenants, if they buyers or sellers of real estate, we treat them in the best way we can, because at the end, this is reputation. And in real estate, everything is long term. You cannot sell house in, you can, with the help of tokenization, you can sell it rather quickly now. But again, we worked hard to build that, and we only will be exceeding and working even harder, because we want to be acquiring larger buildings which are not keeping the right up kept in the right way, so we can bring them back to life, lease them up to good tenants, and make it work again.
Amazing. So all best of luck, I would say, on the Launchpad campaign. I'm sure it's going to be in high demand, especially with the collateral. The APY for BST holders should be amazing. Um, the other part, best of luck in creating um, Vera Vera Capital, because Vera Group is an established group. Vera Capital is a new venture within it. It's going to be built on the reputation from the past reputation, and it's going to be creating new reputation within a Web3 environment where
Yeah.
uh, before that community was maybe not something you guys were addressing, and now
Mhm.
you will be. On the other side, it's going to bring a lot of education, I'm sure, on the market to more traditional investors who maybe hear of tokenization only in the news or
Mhm.
haven't heard about tokenization yet. Even though with the environment in the US today, I'm sure that everyone has heard about tokenization of real world assets, and it's only a matter of time of when they first acquire tokenized
Mhm.
real estate asset. Um, so that being said, I'm cautious of the time. I'd love to have another hour here with you discussing about everything real estate and tokenization and whatnot. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and hope the community enjoyed it. Maybe we can do it again, another discussion after about Vera Capital, about the Blocksquare and the future of tokenization. Again, thank you all, and let's build it together. And Florida real estate is it's a great place to be right now, and we want to offer it to the community. Thank you so much, Dan, for opportunity, and let's build it.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So thank you, everyone who joined us today for another amazing episode. I think I enjoyed the conversation with Nick so much of BlockChat. As we said, the Launchpad campaign for Vera Capital is going live soon. Prepare your SBST so that you can be part of this amazing story. An amazing entrepreneur who's built everything from the ground up, an amazing real estate business, and it's an honor to be able to work with such team. Um, let's see where this takes us. As Blocksquare, I believe the U.S. market is one of the hottest markets for real estate and for tokenization. The environment is in the right place. The timing is right. And with Vera Group, there is a partner that knows what's it doing. So thank you so much for joining, and